Welcome to the stream. I am fully reclined today in the chair. I am low in the frame. I'm so tired today. I've done almost nothing all day. I literally just fell asleep and then I woke up and then I fell asleep again immediately. And I'm just still groggy. But I'm live on Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon. To watch tonight's Big Brother Unlocked. That is what we are doing. I'm excited for this Unlocked. We've got Brittany Haynes. We've got a jury segment. James Gunn is there. I believe noms are happening right now. Seen casuals mad at Ashley for not winning comps as if it's her fault. That's what I'm saying. There's a somewhat, I think, relevant passage in the book about that. Although I'm not entirely sure where. Yeah, okay, this one. It's a little long to read. Basically, the point being that production can choose to create competitions that favor certain kinds of competitors. They can do it slowly, they can do it quickly. But if you've only watched the show for a couple of years, or you just don't pay attention very closely, it's very easy to just feel like, well, this is just natural. This is just the way things are. You're bad at competitions and you're bad at the game. That's how it is. And to alter that is the unfair thing to do. To try to supplant the reality around you with a new reality, with something different, would be unfair. Like to say, oh, well, competitions shouldn't matter as much, or to say, or to change the competitions to cater to certain people would be unfair because that's not the natural way of things. Not realizing that, first of all, there is no natural way of things. It's all producer choice. And that this current natural way of things is already a shift from the way things used to be. And so, yes, you end up with people who are like, oh, Ashley must just be bad at the game because she can't win competitions. It's like, well, maybe she would have won last night's competition. They hadn't changed it. But they don't look at the changes. They don't look at the structure at the top. They only look at the people on the bottom. And I think obviously, if you're hearing what I'm saying, there's a lot of parallels to real life, to society, especially in their current state. All right, prediction. Commercial by 5:13. Yes, no. It's very easy for people in power to set up systems that favor certain other people, usually people that they like or that are like them. And then for the people that exist in that hegemony to feel like that's the natural way of things, and that anybody that thinks otherwise is denying reality or trying to do things that wouldn't be fair, that would unnaturally give them an advantage because they only know the natural state of their own advantage. Feeds are back, yeah. Episode should be starting quite soon, though. That's very bad timing. Too many gummies. That's deep. Too many windows. Too many windows open. All right. We're live. Episode's on. Hey, it's Brittany. They're really. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about how much BBUS has stolen from BB Canada? Which, for the record, is fine. Big Brother has always. All Big Brothers have always taken away from all other international versions. But I heard that they didn't, that they were too good for Big Brother Canada things in the past. It's still so wild that they have James Gunn. Because here's the thing, it's not just James Gunn, it's James Gunn at the height of his power. He's never been more famous than he is right now. Yeah, the Taylor got James Gunn. Can I just say though, I loved Slither. I honestly don't even ever think about James Gunn in relation to Slither But I was an OG Slither fan. I loved that movie. BB breaking news. Uh oh. I didn't realize how high their chairs were. What do you mean? What do you mean? We're going straight to Brittany? I hope she's like doing it the whole time. Yeah, okay. She's so good. No, it can't be this. Go to War with Me. Already #1 right now. Definitely not this one. We were told this one had a lot cut out of it. Not this one. This was a good one. This was the pee on the floor. This was the best one because this is the spawn of their whole frenemies relationship. They really missed out not doing a Vorgan one though. That wasn't even in the episode proper, right? That was an unlocked only. I'm surprised that one actually won. That tells me it was mostly feeders voting here. Which makes sense because I don't remember them advertising the vote on the episode. Wait, well, I just assumed there was a vote. There probably wasn't a vote. Was there a vote? I'm thinking about Big Brother Canada. I just fully assumed there was a vote. No, they're just picking, I think. This was an early commercial, yeah. All right, next prediction then. Do we get the jury segment next time? James Gunn coming across as more of a BB fan than Boston Rob. That's because he is. I mean, according to James Gunn, and I have no reason to not believe him, I would say James Gunn is like the Lauren to like Kelly to Boston Rob's Kelly in terms of watching the show. Granted, Lauren was not alive when the show started, so she definitely hasn't been watching since 1, so even more than Lauren. I'm sure Lauren. Actually, I don't know. Has Lauren gone back and watched the old season? I think she has. We're back. By the way, if you want to sign up for the Patreon, you can get this view. I mean, Chelsea has had the strongest draft from day one, no? That's so huge. He would do that. I bet he would actually do that. Wait, where'd Brittany go? Prompt is better than sat. Still prompt. Still prompt. I would give it to prompt or Rachel. Prompt was more quoted. Rachel's was so early in the season. I think that hurts it. I am sat? Really? And there it is, jury segment. Listen, I am sat was good. I miss her already. I'm annoyed again. The judges is no more. Please tell me you're impressed with Ashley, Rachel, that he was voted out over Ashley. With a poopy face. They'd better change their tune when Lauren walks down in there. Lauren really should not have thrown that comp. I swear to God, if they keep giving Vinny credit and not Morgan or Ashley, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. I need the next jury segment. All right, we did get the jury segment. Next prediction. Is Brittany back? Does Brittany come back in the next segment? I mean, because this is the thing, right? If they keep saying, oh, Ashley's screwed, Ashley's screwed, Ashley's screwed, she's definitely coming next if she doesn't win a competition, Ashley's screwed. And then she doesn't even touch the block in the next at least 2 evictions. Can we give her some credit? Is that allowed? And then I have to imagine that the stories that Lauren and Kelly are going to tell about Vince and seeing Vince put up Lauren should be enough to reverse this narrative that Morgan's doing everything for Vince. Now, granted, you do have to say a little bit that Morgan brought it onto herself a little bit, because she did go around asking Rachel if she should use the veto on Vince in a spot where she would have been screwed over and voted out. So I can understand where Rachel might think that. And then he also chose Lauren in the White Locust. So I can understand why she might think that, but she should very much change her mind and be open to changing her mind when she learns more about what's going on in the house. You have to imagine, and not that this is really in question, but you have to imagine that Rachel would be so impressed to hear that Morgan stayed up in Vinny's HOH room all week long and got him to nominate Lauren. Like, come on. You know she's going to love that. She loves a showmance. My fear is that Kelly is not going to say a lot to Rachel and that Lauren's going to be super quiet. And so they're not going to get enough info. Brittany! They really brought out the slippery wiener clip. This is pretty good, but I can't imagine this is anything other than Ashley's toilet paper. Brittany is so good at this. She's so good at this. She sounds pitch perfect introducing the clips. She has just the right amount of seriousness. Zach's bracelet is the winner right now. Oh my god, hearing her say that to Vince. Oh my god. Whoa. Ah. We got that over Ashley's toilet paper? I'm sorry, but Ashley's toilet paper was one of the funniest things all season. That was a huge miss. What a snub. No, don't make me watch this again, please. Oh, okay, it's a sequel. Who is this man? So this was a vote. I mean, this is such a slam dunk. It's obviously Morgan. There's not enough truth in that. She still got it. She still got it way too much. That was not bad. That was not. That was actually topical. Jeez. That wasn't bad, but it was quite a stretch. Takes? What? Really? That one is the worst one so far. No, we're okay. We need to stop. We've done everything. You've done everyone. Please, we've had enough. I mean, this is so. There's no world where this is not Morgan. Brittany's so good at that. Brittany just has like a natural tinge of sarcasm to her voice. So her being serious presenter is just the right amount. um, what do we have left at this point? What do we have left to do? Oh, interview a juror, perhaps? They haven't interviewed a juror yet. I guess we'll do that prediction. Will they interview Kelly or Lauren the next segment? They do have tons of Cheat Man's content that they could show. I'm telling you, any other reality show would be desperate to have as much footage as Vince and Morgan gave Big Brother. They would, like any other reality show, would milk that into an entire season of television. And then they would run spin-offs. Love Island drooling over the footage. That season already happened. It was season 11 of Vanderpump. The fact we don't have a Vince family visit is real. You know, I would hope that they would want one, but if Kelsey didn't want to do it, then uh you would obviously want to respect that. And I don't, who I think there are certainly plenty of people that might not want to do it. I think there are some people that would want to do it, but not everyone would want to. Especially like, I mean, the thing too is like, it's kind of a tough position. Um, and you can't always like trust the way that you'll be shown on a TV show. And there are already people that are giving Kelsey crap uh online because, she's a woman. So like if she wanted to, it would be fun, but like you could understand very much why she might not. Kirsten? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not back for me yet. Kirsten! Hey! Since when are they on Blue Sky? Oh, we're getting a bug segment. The Keanu reveal was great. I was wondering who that was. The fact that Keanu's doing it makes it funnier. That was good. That was a good segment. It didn't overstay its welcome. That was good. I like that. That wasn't an episode. It would have been an extra 2 minutes. I was gonna say, are they gonna show the witchcraft too? I figured they just picked the bugs. Oh, falling over. He was just leaning back in his chair and he fell. I used to do that genuinely in middle school. I was 1000% a chair leaner. Never fell though. I love James Gunn doing this is great. I love how into it he is too. James Gunn, for those that don't know, is just a massive comic book nerd. That's it. I mean, it's got to be Jimmy, right? I guess he's evaluating on a different scale than us. Nah, it's definitely a hit. Oh, did they make a James Gunn? Wait, though. They put way more effort into that one than they normally do. They put so much more effort into that one. That was a good one, though. I like that comic. All right, no interview. Yeah, honestly, like James Gunn, obviously not a feeder, but has still crushed this. Say it feels very similar to the Jerry O'Connell slot. It was just like, just good energy. Totally down to nerd out. Clearly loves the show. Um, Prediction. I'm just gonna. Do we see Brittany again? I can't think of one. Kelly, thank you for the $10. Appreciate that. Do I think we get unlocked next season? I don't know. I kind of hope so. Like, I mean, obviously, I hope so for Taylor. But like, if we took Taylor out of it, would I want the concept of unlocked back? Well, no, because I'd be pissed that Taylor wasn't on it. But assuming Taylor never existed on it, I do still like it as a concept. And it doesn't always like 100% hit, but like it does provide some good stuff. There are plenty of actual episodes that I enjoyed way less than most of the unlocked episodes. I think that if it were a regular weekly show and maybe 30 minutes, I'm not like 100% sold on 30 minutes, but I think 30 minutes or just like continue to flesh things. I think there's a world where 60 minutes works, but like 30 minutes might be harder to slot in. So I don't know if that's something they're interested in, but um but like the one they did before the Sunday episode was, I thought, very good. And like 30 minutes into this one, I was like, that was great. But then they did have some more good stuff. And the thing is, if they went to 30 minutes, I feel like I wouldn't trust them to cut the stuff I'd want them to cut. I fear they'd cut the stuff I liked. We're back, by the way. Tiny thing of the 49th. Vince. I mean, I don't blame him given the segment he just watched in the jury. They're talking like this happened after the HOH, but didn't they record before? Bonehead moves one. That was a good one. Professed his love quite a lot. We really can't do anything else for Catherine. Chad suffered through. Oh, they're gonna introduce America's favorite. Did we see Britney? I feel like we didn't see Britney. No Britney. Massive result. Should we run it back? We can do AFP or we can do Britney. AFP? All right. Do they introduce AFP? That is America's favorite player. I will also accept America's favorite house guest because they often insist on saying that, but I don't like it as much because AFH is dumb. Introduce, talk about, whatever it is. It's time for America's vote. AFH is Kato Kalin. Feeds on pets. It could just be residual pets. I haven't been paying attention because they only came back from noms an hour ago, so it's possible it's just residual pets. I'd be surprised if they have no. I guess they don't have to pick players, don't do they? It's not impossible that they're playing Vito. Is my cup a Stanley Cup? No, it's a hydro flask. I didn't like the Stanley Cup design as much, but I do like the handle. I don't know if Hydro Flask had one before the Stanley Cup blew up or back. Wow, this has got to be a stacked category. That's not the Zay declaring war on Rachel should not be here. I'm sorry, there's way too many other good options. What? Okay, I mean, I guess he picked wrong. That was dumb. Obviously, this is the front runner, I would imagine. What do you mean Rachel for the White Locust? Wanting to excuse me? They really ruined my entire experience of this episode with that. They really just fucked this whole episode with that. Why did we even do that if they're not going to include any of the actual boneheaded moves and then include Rachel? Unless they meant themselves. There it is. Here's what would have been really funny for worst move of the season. Vince putting up Lauren on his HOH. Vince putting up Catherine instead of Rachel on his HOH. Vince putting up Kelly on his HOH. Zach not using his power. Mickey putting up Jimmy on her HOH. Just so many options to choose from. Listen, production is just doing everything they can to propagandize anybody that is not in the online community into not being mad at their twist and blame Rachel as much as they can. All right. Other than the ending, I thought that was a pretty good episode. Veto prediction? We could try it. Who wins veto? Is it Ashley, Ava, Morgan, Keanu, Vince? Yeah, so the rest of the schedule will be for episodes. Sunday will be this endurance HOH plus noms, I imagine. Wednesday will be veto plus eviction. Thursday will be Final Four HOH veto eviction. Friday will be recap of the recap. And then the following Sunday, finale. Hamstar says videos from home. That's possible. Wait. That would be interesting. America's favorite. I would love for it to be Rachel, but I think Keanu is gonna take it. I think Keanu has a significant amount of casual support that Rachel does not. And here's the thing too, like Rachel isn't even the unanimous online favorite. Keanu has a ton of online fans as well. And casuals have carried the America's favorite vote pretty heavily over the years. So if you've ever, tried for an America's favorite, if you've ever pushed for America's favorite, now's the time, I think, to try to get some justice for Rachel. You can only put 5 votes in on one person. Yeah, that's the thing too. And this is, again, it's so worth pointing out that this is how it works. Because the way they decide to do this can influence the outcome. If they know that the casual audience is way more likely to vote for Keanu, then the fewer times that you are allowed to vote, the more likely you are to give Keanu the win, right? And so how they decide to set it up can determine who is more likely to win a vote like this. If you let people vote 100 times a day, then the online fan base who's going to sit there and vote 100 times, way more likely to carry a vote. If you let them vote only once ever, then the online fan base won't have any weight. So, not that that's super likely to like completely change the outcome of a vote, but really the online community voting more than once and like really organizing to get everyone to vote is, I would say at this point, the only chance Rachel has of beating Keanu, because I think if it just came down to the casual fan base, Keanu would easily take it. Yeah, Cameron winning is the biggest example by far of the casual fan base overcoming. I Caleb, I wish I could say the same were true of Cody, but I was podcasting during that season and there were a lot of big like super fan feeders that liked Cody, that were rooting for Cody. He was against BB19. He was against Paul, and that was enough for a lot of people. Thought the online fans were made of no. Taylor was and is super popular with the casual fan base. It took a sec, because they didn't start her edit that way, but the online fan base's voice helped push production to give her the edit that allowed her to have the casual fan base to be on board. Because they started the edit blaming her. Still see a lot of casual. I mean, the thing is, yeah, there are still casuals that don't like her. She is a woman. She is like, like she's a black woman. Brittany has a bunch of casuals that don't like her, right? And to be fair as well, plenty of casuals don't like some dudes also. Colin, think of the 5. What's stupid is if you watch a video to get 5 extra votes, you can't put on somebody you already have 5 votes on. So you can't even vote for the same person, is what you're saying. Well, that's silly. 5 per house guest. You have 10 votes, minimum 5 on 2 house guests. Okay. Ashley, think of the 5. Are the feeds down until the eviction episode? I doubt it. Five votes per email. Yeah, that's the thing is like you never know what kind of like. Actually, I bet there are some people that do. I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable about these things. My assumption is always that like there are probably systems in place that make it fairly easy to stop people from just using multiple emails. Like for instance, when I use SurveyMonkey for the Stockwatch survey, and this is SurveyMonkey. It's not even like a custom thing. I have an option. I never click it. I have an option to block IP addresses from submitting more than one response. So obviously, like, for the Stockwatch survey, I don't care. You don't even sign up with an email. But theoretically, if you did have to sign up for an email for the Stockwatch survey, um, even if you used another email, I can just tick off an option on SurveyMonkey that would stop your vote from counting a second time because you're using the same IP address, unless you, of course, use a VPN. But then that's a whole other can of worms. But who knows? I don't know. It's the sort of thing where it's like, I guess you might as well try if you've got some time and you want to. Because, like, I mean, the thing is, like I said, I don't even click that option because who cares? Like, who's trying to game the Stockwatch survey? And they might feel the same way. They might be like, if people want to spend hours of their time making a bunch of email addresses to vote in our thing, we'll let them. They might not care. And I don't know, maybe they'll just be like, well, depending on what outcome we want, we'll either turn it on or off. I don't know. I don't know what they do. They don't say. I don't even know if that's legal. Yeah, I mean, they could for sure if they, tabulate a new one. I remember when I started very early, when I started doing the Stockwatch survey, like the very beginning of it, back in like BB20 or something. I used to, for like a few, I don't remember how long I did this for. I was like very serious about wanting the data to be like clean. Colin, thank you for the $5. Deal's a deal. If Vinny goes, I get 50 from it. Don't forget. Sounds good, Colin. I used to, when we first started doing it, I used to go through the Stockwatch survey data, and if anybody just did like all ones and then gave somebody a 10, I would remove that from the data. Because I was like, this is, you're gaming the system. This is, lots of like websites do this for their own like rating systems and stuff. I was like, I'm gonna, this vote won't count because they're obviously trying to game the system. And I did that for a couple of weeks of that, and I was like, this is way too much work. And then for a while, I was telling people I was doing that, but I was not actually doing it. I was just hoping that by telling them I was doing that, they wouldn't bother doing it. And then I just gave up on it entirely. Because yeah, it's not that serious. at the time, I was like, it was a new thing. I was like, let me take this seriously. Also, there's way too many votes now. There used to be way fewer votes. I feel like gaming the system is a valid way to vote regardless. I mean, like I said, like when I first started doing the survey, I was really like trying to take it more seriously, and I was like really like, this is strictly game. Make sure you're voting game. Um, but then people never did, and so I kind of gave up. That's why I don't say game as much in the questions. Yeah, I usually post it on Twitter and Blue Sky. Yeah, feeds are definitely down. Pets have been there for a while, so. Yeah, I mean the thing is, and this is the thing too, is that what you have to realize is it's just like any other rating site, like IMDb for movies, right? IMDb versus like Rotten Tomatoes versus like Letterbox, like whatever, right? You have to sort of, as long as the voting is consistent, you can gauge based on where things are comparatively. So when I first started, I was trying to get like an accurate number, but what I realized eventually was the better way to do a comparison is, or the better way to get an accurate gauge on what the audience is actually thinking about a certain player or thing, is to just compare it to previous votes. So like the number itself is less valuable than the comparison to the other stuff. Who in the world is going to be top 3 in AFP with Rachel and Keanu? Will or Ava, I think. I think Will or Ava. I think Will would have had an edge, but Ava is staying in the game longer. And it is not helping Will that the jury segment was on Unlocked and not an actual episode. I mean, I was paying attention last night. Ava was very present in the edit. And it was a fairly positive edit also. Like she's definitely still locked in there. And yeah, I mean, it's not like Unlocked is, I don't know exactly what the ratings are. I think they're actually pretty good. But I think they are not as watched as like a normal episode would be. Granted, people who watch Unlocked are probably a lot more likely to vote in AFP. Lori, thank you for the $10. So you're gonna need a happy birthday at today's your birthday. Today's your birthday? If so, happy birthday, Lori. If they're doing veto right now, didn't they say last night it could be an immediate eviction? Does that mean someone goes home tonight? I would be surprised if it were tonight. But it would not be impossible. It's just like if you were going to do it like that, you might as well just do it live. You know? If the veto is happening now, I would expect the eviction to be like tomorrow. I also said they wouldn't do the hamster wheel. Fair. Very fair. Listen, all I can do is try to give you. Listen, I'm like Keanu, you know? I am as unbiased as they come. An unbiased third party that only gives logical arguments. And as Keanu, as an unbiased third party that is genuinely looking out for you and wanting the best for you, my advice is sign up for my Patreon. I think it would be stupid if you didn't, honestly. Like, what are you even doing? You're basically like giving your whole life away by not being on the Patreon. Totally unbiased, third party, I couldn't obviously be more unbiased. This is so clear. Brother. This was I imagine some of you did not see it. This was literally the conversation Keanu was having with Vince today. Totally unbiased. You should be going to the final two with me. Oh boy. And obviously you should be at the Patreon, and you should also buy the book. Totally unbiased, but like well, thank you for the $2. It's your birthday as well. Happy birthday. Yeah, you know what, bro? I'm really disappointed in you, chat, bro. I feel like I'm constantly telling you the right thing to do. Buy the book, sign up for the Patreon, and like every time you burn me, bro. Like, am I the stupid one? What's happening here? Colin, thank you for the $2. Vinny reminds me of the dad in Rick and Morty. I have seen that comparison. Aaron, please look at this target. Your sword is slipping. When are we doing the dodgeball watch party on Patreon? Oh boy. Anyway. Good stuff. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Go check out Unlocked. I think they just started. I'm I'll be back on Sunday. It's gonna be a late episode Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern. And so that'll be quite the ride. I think it's actually mostly fine for me. It'll be 7 to 8. Wait, is it a 2 hour? Hold on. Is it a 2? Do you guys know if it's a 2 hour? Only an hour? It should only be an hour. That it would make no sense for 2 hours. Sunday, 10 p.m. regular. Phew. Okay. Jess, thank you the $5. Birthday's tomorrow. Navo Rachel AFP. Thank you, Jess. So yeah, it'll be 7 to 8. We'll do the podcast after. I'm hosting it, so I can keep it tight. Be done by like 9:30. It's doable. It's not too bad for me. It sucks for East Coast, but anyway, that's what we're doing. Yes, 10 p.m. Sunday Eastern, and then Wednesday. And that's it. For the patrons, stay tuned. We'll have some more genius stuff. Survivor coming up very soon. Amazing Race coming up very soon. So stay tuned. Football could change it. Oh no. Either way, thanks for hanging out. I will see all of you next time.